Everybody knows the game called Cop the Tire.
Tap the tire.
What up, everyone? So we're doing something different this week. We're launching a sub-series within our channel called Heroes for a Day. And that's something unique where I really want to showcase how great of a place Utah is, where we highlight some of the local legends, some of the local routes, some of the local KOMs. Utah is a hidden gem in my eyes, not only for triathlon, but other endurance sports. We have a lot of big name runners out here, not only from cross country for high school, colleges, but Jared Ward is out in I think Mapleton, out by Provo. He's professor at BYU, but we also have a lot of amazing triathletes, whether in the professional scene, but some that are doing some crazy things. So within the sub-series, we want to highlight those local legends, and some of them have been awesome and invited me to train with them for a day. So it's a great opportunity for me to kind of get out of my wheelhouse and do something hard and something exciting as well. So for this week, we are highlighting James Iron Cowboy Lawrence. You guys may have heard of him. He has a Netflix documentary out right now. About 5 years ago, he did the 50-50-50. That's 50 Ironman distances in 50 days. Here's the fun part. In all 50 states. He started in Hawaii and ended in Utah. Utah, because that is where he's from. He's out, I think, Pleasant Grove, Orem area. I'm still trying to familiarize myself with all the towns here in Utah. But the main reason why I want to feature him is not what he has done, but what he's about to do. This spring, he's doing the Conquer 100. I'll repeat that again, 100. That means he's going to do for 100 iron distance events in 100 days starting this spring. Let me break it down for you what iron distance means. He's going to do 2.4 miles of swimming. He's going to do 112 miles of bike riding. And then afterwards, he's going to run an entire marathon. All in one day, repeated for 100 days. That blows my mind. An Ironman alone blows my mind. The fact that he's about to do this for 100 consecutive days, I think, is unreal. So here's the thing about James. He's a little rough around the edges if you've ever met him in person, but I really admire people like him, those people that are not only mentally tough, physically tough, and just having gotten to know him, he's become a good friend to me over the past couple of years. Let me join in different lifting, CrossFit workouts that he does, different gravel rides, mountain bike rides. He's an awesome guy, and he's also just one of the toughest people I know. But the thing with the Conquer 100 that he's doing a little bit differently, he knows all the controversy that came out of the 50. So he's laying the ground rules up front to hold himself accountable so others can hold him accountable. He's gonna do the swim as 40 100s, all at the same Vasa pool right by his house. He's gonna do the 112-mile bike ride around Utah Lake, all outdoors, no matter the weather. His exact quote is, there's no bad weather, just bad gear. I don't believe that. I personally will be a wuss and ride indoors or run on the treadmill any chance that I get. But he's setting the standard up front and holding himself accountable for it, which I think is gonna hopefully shut a lot of the haters up, and also the fact that he is being very upfront, and you can donate directly to the charity that he's focusing on, which he also touches on in the interview later on. But it was a fun day to kind of work out with him. One of the things that I touch on in the interview is, a lot of people hear that I do Ironmans, and they've also heard of the Iron Cowboy, and they're like, "Oh, you're so fast. You could definitely do that." I absolutely cannot. Even though James and I both swim, bike, run, we are two very different types of animals. I like to go as fast as I can in a short distance. James is all about that endurance, that muscular endurance that I don't have, you probably don't have. But one of the things that makes him unique is how mentally tough he is. And no matter what, he will not give up.
This is where we train, this is where we do the strength training, we get friends come in and out. And then upstairs is where we're just doing the cardio. So yeah, strength training is important. Don't skip out on your strength. That's why triathletes get injured. Swim less, strength train more. I've been saying it for a very long time. This is not an endurance sport. It is a muscular endurance sport. Your limiter will be your body's ability, your muscles' ability to carry you a certain speed over time. And you have to be strong in order to do that. Power. Everybody talks about power on the bike. Power comes from strength. If you're not doing squats, you're gonna be at the back of the pack. And if you've been in this sport a while, you know that that is one of the most important things, is to stay healthy, stay injury-free, because that's how you go fast.
What was that one on your headband? Isn't that a lifting company? Isn't that a CrossFit company? What are they doing?
They do mostly heavy lifting, powerlifting, sports. They're a nutritional company, and so they're kind of crossing over, wanting to get into this. They make a great endurance product, great recovery products. Take a lot of the supplements to recovery. We'll hammer strength and recovery into your faces until you get it. Strength and recovery, those are the two most important things that people overlook. If you're not working on nutrition, strength, or there, I'll throw a third one in. Strength, nutrition, and recovery. This is a 6-discipline sport, people. Keep up. 6 disciplines. Nail them. Get them right.
So James Lawrence, how are you approaching the 100 differently than the 50?
Yeah, man, that could be an entire long episode in itself, because we're doing a ton of stuff differently. I hear from our man Clodian that people maybe don't understand. Maybe think that we just wing these type of things, that there's not a lot of preparation, a lot of team that goes into something like this. Yes, normally year-round when I don't have a big challenge, not really a routine guy, not really structure, but when it comes right down to it and it's go time, put an unbelievable team around me, and I wear all these different tracking devices, and we track everything. We have a whole cardiologist team monitoring what's on the inside. I have 2 different tri-coaches, Coach Aaron, Coach Carly of Team Iron Cowboy. We're monitoring everything on the daily. We upload all the data. We're very meticulous. What's different from the 50? Logistics are going to be different. We don't have to travel and go everywhere. The purpose of this and what we're doing is, if you remove chaos and you put team structure and organization around it, can you double impossible and defy logic? And so that was the premise of what we're doing, that we're gonna do them all here in Utah. So that's a huge difference. Yeah, it's just been a different feeling. Before, when we announced the 50, everyone said, impossible, can't be done, you're an idiot. Now we announced the 100, and it's like, when are you doing it? How can we support? We're coming in, what can we do? That's a very different feeling. And for the first time in a decade, I feel like the triathlon community is coming back together. And I'd like to thank 2020 for that. So thank you, 2020. If there's anything good that's come from it, it has brought triathletes back together. Because for a minute there, it was a little touch and go whether we even liked each other. So it's great that we're back together. The support's been overwhelming. March 1st, June 8th, we can't wait.
So break it down. Like, a lot of people think, okay, you've done the 50. What's a 50 more after that? But the fact is, what are you doing 100 of? Break down each of the sports.
You can't put into words or describe the compounding effect of an Ironman a day, right? So one of my all-time favorite stories is day 3 of the 50. I'm running with a guy, we're on the bike, and he's like, man, why are we going so slow? And I'm like, dude, this is your one Ironman that you're doing. And so it's like when you're doing triathletes, you'll get this. When you're doing mile repeats or 400s or 10 by 1s in the pool. The first one, man, how many times have you said to yourself, I wish that all of them felt like the first one. I wish I felt as good, as strong. Why can't I maintain that? Because that load over time is detrimental to our system. And so that's, I mean, we saw, if you've seen the documentary, read the book, you know what happened 1 through 50. A lot of that had to do with chaos, but it's still 140.6 miles a day. So an Ironman swim, 2.4 miles. An Ironman bike, 112. And then it's a full marathon, 26.2 miles. That's 140.6 miles a day. And for the 100, that's 14 weeks, totaling over 14,000 miles, no days off. And here's the other crazy part. You take away the logistics, but you add in the monotony and boredom of the exact same course every single day. Let's say we make it to day 75, right? How do you wake up in your own bed, at home with your kids and say, 25 more, right? And so now you're adding in an entire mental, psychological piece to this puzzle. And I've been speaking around the world for the past 5 years, and companies want to, like, they love it that I'm going to be a guinea pig for this. The scientists behind this, the medical journals that are studying this, like, they are so stoked because how often you get an opportunity that you get a whack job like me that is willing to put everything on the line and go, yeah, you know, for the next 14 weeks, let's get out there and do this. So it's fun. We love it, but it's very, very different for sure.
So my main thing, knowing you pretty well, how do you stay motivated? You use the term whack job, but I like to think you're a person whose ambitions far exceed your talents. How do you stay motivated to finish the 50, go in the record books, call it a day, keep doing what you're doing, but yet you're coming back for round 2 and saying, no, I'm going to redefine impossible?
I think short-term memory, forgetting what it was actually like, it plays a big role in that. We do it for causes. We're partnering with Operation Underground Railroad, and this is they do under like sting operations on human trafficking and sex slavery, and that is a topic that we should all be talking about. I have 4 teenage girls in my house right now, and you look around and you look at the stories and the headlines, and it's like, these are the types of people that are targets, and everybody's a target. I just read a thing that males are targets. It's crazy. And I think if I can suffer for 100 days to potentially free another human being that doesn't know when their suffering is going to end, that gets you up in the morning. And the fact that we've got messages from around the world of people saying, where can we donate? How can we help? How can we show up? That's the goal, is to have that kind of impact. And so that should get anybody up in the morning to do the work, right?
Yeah, so what you're saying is, what's after the 100? Are you gonna just call it a day, or are you still gonna try to find other ways to piss off your wife?
She's right there. She's not pissed off, she's smiling. Just like after the 50, it turns into sharing the story and getting the message out there. I realize you only have to do crazy every so often. And hopefully this one is crazy enough that it lasts a really long time, and then I can transition into more fun. Golfing, being with the kids. And my youngest is now 12 and will be out of school soon, 11. When you have 5, you lose track. And then I get to be, Sonny can start traveling with me. And that changes the dynamics of what we do for travel and speaking and everything too. So we are planning for, right now we're looking as far ahead as this workout.
Yeah.
And then we have a game plan to get us to the start of the 100, which from this video, it is only 44 days away. And then we will look singularly every single day, every moment to make it to the 100. And then who knows what's going to happen after that. Anybody watching this, if you want to come join us, it is March 1st, June 8th, all here in Utah. All the information is going to go up on the website, ironcowboy.com. And so we want as much support and love as we can.
Last question for you. Having done research on you and just looking at you in person, you look lean, strong, but more importantly, you look a little bit thicker. And one of the things that I had...
Thicker? Was that kind way of saying fat?
Sure. based on the research that I was doing, you're trying to the photo of you that went viral of looking completely shredded towards the end of the 50. One of the things that I think based on what I've read, that you're changing is you want to make sure that you're going into the 100 stronger but more nourished, so you can endure day 51, day 75, day 99. And also you're incorporating a lot more weightlifting. How did that come about?
Yeah, we did a lot of weightlifting going to the 50. We knew we needed to be strong and durable. This one, it's even more important. I got down to 4% body fat by the end, and that you start getting into dangerous levels. So yeah, I'm gonna go into it a little heavy, intentionally. That's why we just posted a video of the fat that we're adding to my 3 servings of steel cut oats that I ate moments before I'm about to do my workout. And my nutritionist, another one of the details that we're trying to control is how much and what I'm eating. So yeah, you gotta go in heavy. I hope to go in around 170 pounds, and I hope to stay above 160 by the end. That's gonna take a big task eating and figuring that out. And that's one of the things that Sunny is excited about this time. She says, I am going to control what you eat. I've taken control of this project. And that's super exciting for me too, because she didn't have that opportunity on the 50. She was thrown into it and it was chaos. Our kids were way younger. My older daughters are very engaged, or my oldest daughter is engaged in this one on a different level and is running operations behind the scenes. She just turned 18, Lucy. And so lots is different. But yeah, we got to go into this a little bit heavy. And I'm also older too, right? I was 39 when I did that. I'll be turning 45 in the 50s. So it'll be interesting to see the 100. We're just so accustomed to saying the 50. But it'll be interesting to see how the body adapts and evolves, how it holds up. There's a lot of unknowns. But again, we're excited, so we'll see. At the highest level, you have to master the basics. You have to show up on the daily. You have to do the groundwork for a decade. Guarantee you, your favorite superstar on TV that you watch?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, great, there you go. I guarantee you, there's a moment before you knew who Ryan Gosling is, you could watch a movie from 5 years ago and he's like a cameo guy walking in the background. Or he did a total cheesy commercial and nobody knew who he was until they knew who he was. And so position yourself and do the work where nobody knows who you are until the moment they know who you are. And it just takes grind, it takes hustle, it takes sacrifice. Everybody knows what they want, but do you know what you're willing to sacrifice? If you can answer that question, you are well on your way to greatness. Today was just kind of a medium to long run. I'm gonna do a 3-hour ride after this, and mostly zone 1 stuff, just getting my body used to this kind of pace. But then in the middle I did 10 by 2 minutes at a 6:30 pace, just to kind of pop the heart rate up, get the body conditioned to process that lactate. And so 10 by 2 minutes on 2 minutes rest. And I always think it's funny, like someone will look at my data on Strava or something and be like, oh dude, you averaged 12-minute miles over 2 hours, way to go. And I'm like, okay, sweet sauce baby, you keep thinking, you got me. And every workout, like I get and understand like, hey, I'm just training for health and fitness. But if you're training for anything, a triathlon, your first Ironman, your first big multi-day challenge, everything has to be with intent and with purpose. There's a reason why you do what you do inside of your workout. I don't run for a certain distance. Like, I'm not trying to hit, hey, I'm training for a marathon, I gotta get my 20-miler in. No, I'd rather be intentional with what I'm doing in that workout so that my body can adapt to that stress and then perform at a high level. So make sure if you're training, you just do a little bit of research and intentionally do things inside the time that you're given. Dude, it's family-life balance, right? Like work-life balance. We've all got a finite amount of time to go after our passions and our side loves. But like, you gotta have that balance. So with such limited time, you gotta go all in with like your intent, your purpose, and the structure of what you're doing. And so, dude, just do a little research, align yourself with good coaches, good mentors, and yeah, do things with intent and purpose. So now we're just cooling down, and then we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna go outside, we're gonna go on the mountain bikes. It's like 32 degrees, I don't care. I flipped my bike off yesterday and was like, I'm going outside, so we're gonna go have some fun.
So James, one thing I've observed is a lot of people love you, but there are a select few that really don't like you. Why do you think that is?
Man, you're gonna go through life and you just can't make everybody happy. And for absolutely no reason at all, somebody may hate you. And to me, I just truly believe it's they don't know an individual. They're reading a clickbait headline, fake news, one side of a story. And to be honest with you, I don't care. I am here to engage and work with people that want to. And I can't change anybody's opinion of me or their perception or perspective of me. And I can just show up on the daily, be consistent, be integrous with everything that we do. We've never hit anything. And so if anybody has a problem with me, you can come right to me, talk to me. I'll talk to anybody. And again, I'm not trying to be everybody's best friend. And I'm just gonna be who I am, be a family man, be an athlete, be a businessman, and just try to do it at the highest level and show up every single day. So to that, I give it no power, no energy, because you can't, and I shift my focus and give my power and energy to people that want to engage, want to be involved, and that believe in what we're doing. So at the end of the day, I don't care.
So is that a mountain bike you're on?
Yes.
So
We
I'm
love
confused.
mountain biking.
Aren't you doing 100 iron distances? What are you doing on a mountain bike, dude?
A little bit of variety, a little bit of cross training, a little bit of fun. Training for something like this is monotonous, boring, repetitive. So sometimes you got to break it up, have a little bit of fun. And these things are hella fun.
So the two biggest criticisms people had about the 50 were the one time that you got an IV drip and a lot of questions around the charity foundation. How are you handling those ahead of the Conquering 100 campaign?
First off, bad information. One IV drip? No, I took a lot of IV drips. Why? Because I was in the South in July and it's hot, and it's not against water rules to take an IV when you're doing whatever you want outside of a sanctioned race. So congratulations, people, do your homework, you got it wrong. In fact, WADA suspended me because of jackasses on the internet, and then we went to battle. And guess what? Guess who won? This guy. And they rewrote the rule. So inform yourself properly. This is a perfect example of clickbait. So this time around, we're also gonna do IVs. And we're gonna up it, and we're gonna do nutritional IVs. And we're gonna take those IVs based off of blood work. So you can go inform yourself. Also the charity. We have, again, clickbait, click, 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 click. We have every documentation that we transferred every dime to the charity. We have letters from the charity saying, thank you so much for transferring all of the money. To avoid any of that nonsense, this time we have partnered way ahead of time with OUR. We have a designated page just for us. No money will go through our hands, even though, hey, guess what? There's honest people in the world. We gave them all the money. But to avoid any of you morons on Slow Twitch, and without giving you any ammunition, you on Slow Twitch, with your attitude, can go directly to the link and donate directly to the charity. Hey, maybe do something good in your life. How about that? That's neat.
One of the other
I
questions.
hope you post this
Oh.
with all of its sauce, with all of its vigor. You morons on Slow Twitch. Yes, I'm talking directly to you guys.
Doing 100 iron distances outside, how are you gonna handle rainy days?
Rainy days, you suck it up. There's no such thing as a bad day outside of like the hurricane that we encountered on the 50. Utah, it's unbelievable, it doesn't have any hurricanes. There's no such thing as bad weather here in Utah, there's only bad gear. And I have multiple bike setups. Mark my words. Pay attention, guys. Here it comes. Rain, snow, or shine, we're going outside. This is the rule. The swim's gonna be inside, absolutely, 50-meter pool. Lakes aren't open here. We're gonna bike around the lake, we're gonna run outside on a trail. Those are the rules, 140.6 every single day. You don't like it? Talk to Guinness Book of World Records, because they're the ones that have approved this. Have you heard of them? Guinness Book of World Records!